So if you are doing the video into the GIF cartoon, what you're going to do is open your video first in Photoshop. So File Open, and that should open your video, and it will open up this timeline at the bottom as well. And what we're going to do is look through the video and find screenshots of what you want each frame to look like for your drawing. So as I go through this, I'm going to find maybe as my first step where the eye is closed, and I'm going to take a screenshot of that. So Command Shift and then 4 is going to let you click and drag across here to screenshot it. And then I'm going to slide this over just a little bit more until the eye opens a little bit, so maybe about here. And I'll do another screenshot. So Command Shift 4 on the keyboard and click and drag across the picture. And then I'll slide it a little bit more where the eye is open slightly more. Command Shift 4, click and drag across the screen, and then slide it over slightly more so the eye starts opening. Command Shift 4, and then I'm going to find one where the eye is open all the way here to end with. So Command Shift and 4. You don't necessarily need many more screenshots than maybe 4 or 5 to make this work well, depending on what you're doing. So if you're doing a short clip like this, 4 or 5 will work great. So now that I have all the screenshots, I'm going to open them up together. So go to File at the top of your screen, and then down to Scripts, and load files into Stack. So that way we can load all of the pictures into one document. Then I'm going to look for where they're at, and I'm going to grab all of those pictures. If you hold down Command or Shift, it will let you choose multiple. And then Open, and make sure you check off that first box before you hit OK. So Attempt to automatically align source images is going to line everything up for you. Then when you hit OK, it's going to load the pictures into Photoshop. So that way you're going to be able to trace them. And right now it's trying to line them up so everything matches. So make sure that that's something that you have. The reason why the checkerboard shows up in the background is because one of the pictures might not have lined up completely, so it's trying to stretch or move it a little bit. So if that happens, just crop it. I'm going to crop the sides out and the top a little bit. And then I'll hit the check button. And then make sure as you go through, the layers are in the correct order. So this one actually should be first, so I'm going to drag that to the top layer. And then all of the rest of those look pretty good. So as I click through here, the eye slowly is opening for the last picture. Now I'm going to start drawing. So I'm going to add a new layer on top of this first picture. Use the paintbrush, and it's your choice if you want to do it all in black and white, all in color. If you zoom in a little bit, it will help where you can see a little bit more detail, but then go ahead and paint across everything. And it helps to just try to follow a lot of those strong lines in the picture. Some will be a lot more detailed than others, so take your time with it. If you mess up, you can use your eraser tool, and that will let you erase certain areas. But I'm just going to quickly draw that, and then I'm going to hide that first layer because we're done with it. I'm actually going to hide the drawing, and click on my next one, add a layer, and trace this as well. So now there's a little bit more detail now that the eye is open. Trace the eyelashes. So try to incorporate a lot of detail with these drawings. Really take your time more than I am here. There's my next drawing. And then I'm going to hide that layer, hide the next one, go to my next layer, add a new layer, and begin to trace. So I'm going to go ahead and finish outlining these, and then we'll come back for how to start putting the video together. So I just finished the last drawing. So what I'm going to do is hide and actually delete all of those pictures that I did not draw, so all of the screenshots I'm getting rid of. So I'm left with just the drawings. So if you click on the layer and hit the trash bin, it will delete them. And then I'm going to, on the timeline at the bottom, hit Create Frame Animation. And then on these 3 dash lines, I'm going to click on it and hit Make Frames from Layers. So it's going to take all of my frames from the drawings here and add them to a layer. So if you hit play, it's going to play really quickly the eye closing. Now that obviously goes really fast, so what you can do is change the seconds to be a little bit slower so you can see the motion show up more. And then if you play that, it's going to close a little bit slower. And since I have the eye closing, what I can do to make everything loop, and this will work for some videos, might not work for all, but give it a try for yours. What I'm going to do is click on my first frame, hold down Shift and click on the last frame, and go to those dashed lines again and hit Copy Frames, and then Paste Frames, and then hit OK. And then I'm going to reverse the frames that I just pasted. So if you hit Reverse Frames, it's going to take the video and reverse it so that it continuously loops. So the eye closes, and then I reverse those frames so that the eye opens at the end. And if you change the timeline at the bottom from once to forever and hit play, it's going to continuously loop. So you can see the eye close and then the eye open as well. I have another video here that has a lot more detail, so you can see that this was drawn out with a lot more layers. And if you hit play, you're able to see a lot smoother transition. So if you have the time and could do more timeline frames or more screenshots, that's even better. But this is a great example again of creating those drawings and animating it.